All right, we're about ready to begin. So, good morning, everybody. Hapaday, Tiro, and welcome to the announcement. At this time, to get our program underway, I'd like to invite one of the first two women elected to the House of Representatives in our Commonwealth's history, along with the late Felicidad Taman Ugomoro, the mother of Kimberlyn King-Hinds, Miss Serafina King-Neighbors.
Good morning, Hafaday Zantiro. It is with pride to stand before you this morning to introduce my daughter, Kimberlyn King-Hinds, whom you all know as Kim. Kim in our family is the organizer and the one we all count on to get something done. Whether it is a birthday party, family trip, or something someone needs help with, she always been the one that everyone counts on. Since she was very young, she loves helping people. We used to have a small store on Tinian, and she would give away the merchandise. For free to her classmates, mind you. Who she thought needed it more than the business. We sometimes now joke that she's the Robin Hood. But that was Kim. Oh, that's Kim. She's always had a big heart, and she always wanted to make a difference in other people's life. She went to high school in Milwaukee High school at that time when there's a lot of racial tension. Milwaukee High was predominantly white, and as kids of colors started moving into the neighborhood, that racial tension escalated. Kim's answer to the problem was forming a club to promote exclusively and running for student body president. We were all shocked when she got a phone call telling her that she won. We didn't have the resources to pay for Kim to go to college. After her second year at Loyola Marymount, she put her family first and took a pause from college to help out. She never gave up. She's never been prideful. She was always willing to take any job to earn money so that she can get her degree. And I've always been so proud of her. She is very prideful. She's never been prideful. She's willing to take any job so that she can get her degree, and I've always been proud of her tenacity and determination. And for so much of her adult life, Kim's life can be summed up in 3 words: service, determination, and resiliency. She never shied away from standing from what she believes in, even when it is an uphill battle. Most people caution her against taking too strong of a stance against the military. Everyone called it a David and Goliath battle. But not for Kim. She took the challenge and fought with her whole heart. Most people who really don't know Kim see her as this really tough woman. But if you know Kim, like our family knows her, she's one of the most caring and thoughtful person you will ever meet. As a mother, I couldn't be prouder of the woman she is and the value she upholds. It is with pride that I introduce my daughter, Kimberlyn King-Hinds. Hafades and Tiro to the great people of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Thank you so much for being here today. To my mom, my first and forever Shiro, to Auntie Tsai, and Auntie Denang who's not here, thank you for being with me and giving me your blessings to be able to do this today. Dyan para todos si Manyainahu, Manyaluhu, Manatungohu, Manamiguhu ni man presenti pa ako na organ. Dyan lokwi para hamzo ni maniega gi social media, dyan gigaseta. Dyan especialmente para todos itaw Marianas. Si Zeus maasi ni kampu, ni onaizu pa ako na dia, para bay hu introduce zo, dyan para bay hu presenta, i-intention no para komunidad. My first memories of being on Saipan was across the way right behind you at what used to be called the Royal Taga Hotel. It was there where we stayed when my mom used to come up here for work. And not too far from the Royal Taga Hotel was where she worked with si Auntie Darling of Gumuro. And some days, we would go to lunch here right upstairs in this very building. And at 3 years old, I didn't know there were congresswomen in the first scene of my legislature, true pioneers of their time. All I knew about si Moms and Auntie Darling was that they worked really hard in this office filled with people with desks, and that all they talked about was how to help people. And it was also here that I remember first meeting Mr. William B. Neighbors, right upstairs at the restaurant. And it was the first time, honestly, that I had ever seen a black man in my entire life. Mr. Neighbors became Uncle Bill, and later on, Uncle Bill became Dad. And this morning, as the people across the Commonwealth begin their days, I want to have a conversation with you and with all of them here at this site where the history of our islands meet our modern community, and on the grounds where two pioneering women, a Chamorro and a Refalowash, and a black man began laying foundations for the person that I am today. I was born in 1975 when the people of this Commonwealth, after years of colonization and a horrific war, exercised their unalienable right to self-determination by entering into political union with the United States of America. Like everyone born at this time, I did not come into this world a US citizen. I was a citizen of an island in transition, born into a community where my future, my rights, and my opportunities were being decided by individuals hard at work to give all of us a chance. And when I hear or read about the stories of our people and our leaders at that time, their courage, their persistence, and their determination is obvious. But what stands out to me the most, however, was their faith. The faith that we had in that decision. The faith that we had in the people fighting for us. And the faith that we had in each other as we took control of our own destiny. And the conversation that I want to have today with all the people of this Commonwealth is about that faith. Faith comes in many forms. Our existence in these islands in the middle of nowhere is a testament of our faith.
When our ancestors set sail to discover these islands, they had faith in the promise of these lands. They had faith in the importance of our culture that has glued us together through years of colonialism. They had faith that wars would not destroy us. And from the caves, the jungles, the camps, we, the people of the Commonwealth, arose to a new world and a promise of self-determination. The covenant, the foundation of our government and our political identity, is a document of faith. In joining the United States, we didn't put our future in the hands of presidents or congressmen. No. We placed our and our children's futures on the idea of America, the idea of freedom, liberty, and democracy, and the faith that through our own hands, we could take part in the American story. And nearly 50 years since our people chose their collective destiny, we are faced with new challenges. Challenges that threaten our identity, that test the faith of our forefathers and mothers, that the next generation will live better lives than their own. And in placing their faith in the idea of America, our founders brought us to the doorstep and put their faith in us, in all of us here today. The faith that we will keep pushing through the door, keep advocating for our islands, and keep working to secure our place in this country and in this world. Through pandemics, natural disasters, economic collapses, and growing pains within our own families, our lives here are continuously tested. And we are given our opportunity to prove that these lands still carry the strength that survived occupation, that arose from the camps, that rebuilt a society from war, that secured self-determination and our right to self-government. I have faith that we can. I believe this because of who we are. And I have faith in this because of my own story. I am the daughter of Serafina King Neighbors, a woman who came from a generation of remarkable women who shattered stereotypes even before people started talking about barriers like the glass ceiling. I am the biological daughter of a foreign worker, one of the first who traveled to these islands to work as a cowboy. I was raised by William B. Neighbors, one of the first African Americans who set foot on these islands and fought for our people to receive their war compensation. I am a wife and a mother who, like so many of you, share in the burning desire to give our children the opportunity for a better life and to live in a safer world. And I am a lawyer who, like so many of our young people, sought education, experience, and knowledge so that I can do my part to help build a better community. And through this all, I have seen the strength of our community. It was here that we secured our place in the American community. It was here that we fought for our rights to self-government. It was here that we stood firm against both internal and external threats, like natural disasters, pandemics, uneven and damaging federal policies. And it is here that we stand ready to fight for our place in this world. I stand here before you today, ready for this fight, ready to serve you, and ready to work for the opportunities, rights, and freedom and possibilities of our people. I'm here this morning to put my name, Kimberlyn King-Hinds, forward to be your next delegate for the United States House of Representatives. I realize that this is not easy. I already hear it. She's from Tinian. She's never served in the legislature. I get that. Frankly, nothing in my life has been easy. I've had to cross picket lines and endure harassment to work as a checker at Safeway so I can put food on the table for my family. I've worked as a nanny and cleaned houses to save money so I can go back to college. I've served rowdy customers and endured sexual harassment as a waitress at a sports bar so I can pay for rent and pay for books while going to college. And for what seems like a lifetime, I've been fighting against the Department of Defense to stop them from bombing Tininampagan. And I've been fighting against one-size-fits-all federal policies that may work in California but does not work here for the people of this Commonwealth. I say all that to say that I am not afraid of hard work. Because you see, in my mother and Auntie Darling, I have learned that in every impossible situation, I am possible. And I've learned from my dad that it is a moral obligation to take care of people who need help, to be your brother's keeper. And I'm ready to make my pitch to the people of this Commonwealth to tell them who I am. And I'm asking for everyone's faith that I will fight for all of us with all that I am. I never aspired to be a politician, and I don't think of myself as one today. I am just a woman who grew up being told, ano dun eskwela, maiduka, lotsamu malalefa, ginin manu ho magi. Zan mas importante, bira ho takti don fanyadbi. I've been back and I've been doing, and it's time for me to level up and give the best of who I am to the people and these islands that I love deeply. Our founders, through their faith in our people and our country, brought us to the doorstep of the nation's capital. They chartered our path and carved into the heart of this Commonwealth the aspiration of achieving progressively higher standards of living for its people as a part of the American economic family. This goal was so important because at its core, it's about partnership. The United States and the Commonwealth working together to see the lives of our people here improve. I believe that the greatness of our country is seen in the progress and standards of the people who are most disadvantaged. I believe in the potential of our nation to lift up all in pursuit of its goals. Because you see, the promise of the covenant was not just a promise between America and the Marianas. It was a promise to the world after a devastating war that America was going to do different and do better. The covenant shows to the world the unequal strength of America at its greatest. And we stand on the shoulders of honorable men who championed this cause. The public servants who navigated through the waters of Washington as our Washington rep, refining our voice, justifying our existence. These men walked the path, and Congressman Gregorio Sablan Kilili, our first delegate, opened the door and opportunities to bring us closer to achieving our rights as Americans to have an equal voice in the decisions of our country. It is our time today, right now, for a new generation to level up, to step through that door that's been opened for us, to bring our strengths and our hearts to fight for who we are and for our place in the world. And then this morning I want to end by asking all of you to join me. Join me in this fight to make sure that every person has the ability to build a life here at home. Join me in the faith that the forefathers of our covenant had in ourselves, that we are worthy, that we are capable, and we are unstoppable in our determination to build a Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands that we can all be proud of. So level up with me, CNMI. I love you so much. Let's do this.